Violin playing can be improved in a surprisingly short time. We present a group of young players who accomplished a great deal during 12 lessons within 8 days. They made use of principles in the University of Illinois String Research Project. A simple tune with bowing variations was studied and was also used as a test of achievement. Great emphasis was laid upon free movements while bowing to get rid of all feelings of tension. After 8 days of instruction, the children have improved their tone and technique. This is the sound of the group before its faults were remedied. There is stiffness in the players' bodies, especially in the neck, the shoulders, and the knees. When such stiffness spreads, tone production suffers.
Notice that most of the players keep their feet tightly together. This leads to poor body balance and restricted arm movement. A broader straddle stance provides better balance and allows the use of freer and larger arm movements.
8 days later, most of the tensions are gone. The teaching stressed the importance of free movement in form and motion patterns involving the whole body. Students used mirrors as they practiced. Terry, a talented boy, is struggling as he plays. The violin is too much in front of his chest, held mainly by his hand.
Notice the rigidity in the legs. A little movement in the knees and a slight transfer of body weight during large bowing movements would make Terry's playing better coordinated and more relaxed.
The elbow is too far to his right. The violin is tilted so much that the fingers fall at the wrong angle. There is tension in the shoulder. The neck is strained forward. The poor violin position causes cramped bowing habits. The wrist is overbent. The fingers stiff.
Notice the tension in the tendons of the neck. There is no need for so much strain.
Before Debbie's remedial work, her upper arm is rigid, forcing her bow to move on the wrong path. Such stiffness can only hamper good tone production. The head is tilted too far to the right. Even the neck is stiff. The big knuckle of the index finger is too close to the bow. The thumb and fingers are straight and stiff. Debbie and Terry, along with other pupils, were given games and exercises to improve their playing form. Tuning games, played as the left hand plucks, help to mold the hand and the arm to the instrument. The shuttle game demands large movements of the left arm, frees it from a cramped setting in one position. At first, the right hand helps to steady the violin. Tapping exercises all over the fingerboard are of help to relieve tensions in the arm. They also pave the way to a vibrato. The fingers of the left hand are lined up where they can be seen by the player. Then the fingers and violin are moved into playing position. Careful listening to the octave and playing it leads to playing in tune. Tension is eliminated in the knees, shoulder, wrist, and the thumb. the violin is held too low. This cramps the bow arm and causes difficulty in the upper position. The scroll must not point too much to the left, or the right arm will be strained when playing near the bow tip. Placing the violin too high on the shoulder forces the right arm to work at an uncomfortably high level, and the hand is cramped. Let's look at him again. Debbie holds the scroll too high. It is hard to play in the upper half of the bow. Now we have the violin well placed. The end button is approximately at the center of the throat. So we can easily play in the low and the high positions, at the frog or at the tip. A stiff or wrong bow grip must be fixed. The thumb tip is the center of the bow grip, and the thumb supports the bow from underneath. The middle finger and the thumb make a circle that includes the stick. This circle and the whole arm are kept lightly suspended and gently shaken free of tensions. The ring finger embraces the bow next to the middle finger. The index and the little fingers must not crowd their neighbors. Bow landing games are often practiced, always with large arched motions as the fingers stay well rounded on the bow. The little finger and the arm should not get stiff. A fixed elbow position is discouraged, for such a position creates tension in the arm and shoulder. Near the end of the down bow, the elbow moves slightly forward to keep the bow moving straight with the bridge. Near the end of the up bow, the elbow also moves slightly forward and the wrist arches a little. While making a long stroke, the body weight often transfers to another foot. This keeps the body relaxed so it can participate in broad bowing motions. Free bowing movements are encouraged by playing the rebound stroke. The bow is drawn and returned with a single arched movement, not stopping on the way. It is easy to bounce the bow. We call it spiccato bowing. This is how Debbie used to bounce the bow. Terry did it this way. Obviously, Debbie and Terry need help with their spiccato. For a while, they hold their bows farther from the frog than usual. It almost floats in the hand. The fingers are lightly rounded and relaxed. Oh no, this grip is too stiff, and the fingers spread too far apart. In this position, it is more difficult to balance the bow as it feels heavier. The bow grip tends to stiffen. For a while, the bow is bounced silently, as if it were a ball. The bounces are quite near the hand. Gradually, the bounces are moved away from the hand. The silent bounces are changed to sounds by glancing the bow against the strings. The bounces make various rhythms. Now the hand holds the bow normally over the frog. In this position, it is more difficult to balance the bow as it feels heavier. The bow grip tends to stiffen. The bounces make various rhythms. The little finger now has a big job to do. If we are not careful, it can get very stiff. That's so much better. Nicely rounded and relaxed fingers can move the bow more easily. Let's not lock that elbow joint. Let the forearm swing a little, back and forth. Bold movements are encouraged. The elbow rises and drops with the string crossings.
Not this, the elbow is stiff, and the spiccato is played from the shoulders. Too high an elbow and a stiff shoulder.
The featherweight arm and bow are used to play various rhythms. We are ready to bounce the bow fast. First, we play fast near the tip, with no bounce. Then, moving upward, we search for the spot where the bow starts to bounce. Don't make a gooseneck of the wrist, round it gently. It is the vertical direction of the stroke given to the frog that causes the bow to bounce. Notice the difference between fast détaché and fast spiccato strokes. The principles of this string research project were tested during a summer youth music camp at the University of Illinois. The improvements may be observed as we present briefly the children one by one. Debbie again before instruction. Rigid bow grip. Stiff bow arm. Strain in the neck. Poor tone because of crooked bowing. After 8 days, much improvement in bowing and tone. The neck strain is gone. The bow is held less rigidly with curved fingers. Freer arm movements. Before instruction, a very tense body attitude. Stiff fingers on the bow. Shaky rhythm and spiccato. A better spiccato. Better bow grip. Improved usage of the bow arm. More relaxed body. Here is Leslie before instruction. High wrist. Low scroll. These faults hamper bowing movements and tone production. Her playing is confined to the midsection of the bow. Freer playing here. She can now play at the frog in comfort. The violin is held higher, pointing more to the left. Leslie is timid here. Her bow grip is stiff. The rhythm upset because she is using the wrong part of the bow. After instruction, a better part of the bow is used. She plays with ease, a better balanced bow grip. Sharon before. She stands rigidly. Gooseneck wrist caused by cramped violin position. Stiff bow grip. Avoids upper part of the bow. Her tone is small. After instruction, her tone is better. She bows more freely because the violin is moved higher and more to the left on the shoulder. Fingers and wrist gently rounded. Before, a cramped wrist and drooping elbow makes her tone production error-prone. After 8 days, she has somewhat improved her wrist and elbow positions, and consequently her tone. Bob labors hard, with stiff arm and bow grip. Poor tone, stiff shoulders, crooked bowing. Later, straighter bowing, a firmer bow grip with well-rounded fingers. Much more ease in playing, better tone, even signs of a good vibrato. Once again, Bob's playing, tense and tight. The bowing is stiff and crooked. The elbow too high when playing near the frog. Eight days later, the elbow is lower and the tone better. The bow grip is rounded, more secure.
He doesn't labor so hard.
He bounces the bow quite well. Now the children bid you farewell. Tomorrow they will leave the youth music camp with a sense of accomplishment. They play better and more comfortably, so they will enjoy their playing more from now on.